Before you determine whether your horse is ready for the bridle, you have to make sure that they understand every cue that you give them. If you pull that right rein and be soft with the hands, they have to come softly with their nose every time. If you use a leg against them, they have to move off the leg. If you use a rein against their neck, they have to understand how to move away from that rein on their neck. And as important as anything, they need to be able to give their face. If you take a hold of your horse and the head goes up instead of down, you can't drive them into your hands with two hands with your legs and drive them into the bridle with your legs and have that horse be soft. You're not ready to put your horse in the bridle. Once you get all those things accomplished, then the next step will be putting your horse in the bridle. That is the finished product. It is not the first product. If you're a beginning rider looking for a good finished horse, you need to look for a nice bridle horse. If you have not had the experience to put your own horse in the bridle, you need to get a trainer to help you to do that. If you're experienced enough and want to try this with this video's help, that's all really good, but you also need another person on the ground to help you a little bit, to guide you in how you're putting your horse in the bridle. This video is more for a medium to advanced type person that is comfortable with two hands and has ridden bridle horses, understands the concept, but is missing a few things about how to get their horse in the bridle comfortably. If you're just looking for a horse to buy and you're not a very confident rider, you need to find a bridle horse for yourself. That means that the horse willingly goes off the neck rein right and left, willingly stops when you pull lightly on the reins, willingly backs up, keeps its head in one place, doesn't fight the bridle. A good bridle horse can't be beat, and I suggest you going out and looking for a horse that's a little bit older. You know, somewhere 10 or over 10 is a really good age. They've been around a lot, but do not buy a horse at that age that's a problem. Don't buy a horse at that age that's tossing its head up in the air every time a guy touches its face with their hands, because that horse is already in that habit. It will be a tough habit to break. The first time you put a bridle in a horse's mouth that is only used to a snaffle, the horse will be mouthing the bit. If it's got a little higher port in it, it will be feeling totally different for the horse. If it has a little curb chain on it or a curb strap on it, the horse will be a little uncomfortable with that. You need to give the horse a little bit of time to adjust without letting that horse get away with a lot of things. You know, you still don't need to have that horse flinging its head in the air and ignoring the rider's commands, but you can go ahead and put that bit on the horse, let it walk around with it, just get used to the different feel for a few days, and then you should be ready to progress with that horse. First time you put a bridle on a horse that's not used to a bridle, you may have some interesting reactions. You want to make sure you still have them contained. First thing they do is move their mouth around, wondering what that contraption is in there. This mare's only had a snaffle in her mouth. Lots of times the bridles, they fit tight. To actually get one on, you should loosen the head stall to be able to put it on the horse comfortably, and then move that head stall back up to the proper position. Proper position for me is to be just next to the horse's lip. I don't want a whole lot of crinkle in that lip, but I want it snug against that horse's lip. This horse, like I said, has never had one on, so she's going to play with it a little bit. What I like to do is put a bridle on, just tie the reins up to the saddle horn and turn them loose in a safe area, a round pen or a pen, that they can just get used to wearing that bridle. And then let that horse be comfortable for 2 or 3 days until they learn how to carry that bridle. Because for a while they just aren't going to understand what to do.
You know, this mare, she's just going to play with it. This bit's got a roller in it, so she's going to play with that roller a little bit, try and figure out what this bit's about, because it's a whole lot more bit than she's ever had on. And once they get used to carrying it a little bit, I'll start on the ground and ask them to back up, just so that they understand what the reaction is. See, this is real normal. She's opening her mouth. She can't figure out what that extra hardware in her mouth is, because she's never had anything. She's a little too young to have something like this, but for demonstration purposes, she's just perfect. So I'll lead them back up, and I'll ask one to back again. There, she doesn't know which way to put her head. And a lot of horses react a lot more violently than this, but because this mare's been broke and taught to give to her head, she knows she's supposed to give to the head, give the head to my reins, but she doesn't know how to handle this bit at this point. But she's being real good-natured about it. In another year or two, when she's ready for a bit, she'll be taking one real good.